Today I'll talk about the mercy of the world, the pride of the humanity, the seal of the Prophet, the most influential person of all time, the last Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Why? He is the most influential figure of all time. Because if you try to misunderstand his time, the world was sunk into the deep darkness. The daughter were buried into the grave on the name of the pride by the Arabs. Women were killed in the Europe on the name of the witch hunting. The women were burned with their husband on the basis of the superstitious belief in the South Asian country. Slavery was general and the most accepted curse of the society. Slaves were tormented by their masters. People were ruled by the tyrants and totalitarian rulers. In this darkness, Prophet not only advocated the rights of the women and the slaves and the people, but also established a society based on these principles. That's why Michael H. Hart, in his book The 100 Most Influential People of All Time, took the name of the Prophet ﷺ and says that he is only the person in the history who is supremely success in both religious and secular field. Let's look at that what others says about the Prophet ﷺ.
I established some basic criteria. One of these criteria is the strength and broadness of the impact of these people on the history of mankind.
My choice of Muhammad as the most influential person is because of his prophetical, religious and secular level of success. Otto von Bismarck, Duke of Lauenburg, German statesman and diplomat.
O Muhammad, I am sad, for we are not contemporaneous. This book that you are both its teacher and spreader is not your book since it is divine. Denying that it is divine is a ridiculous act, like nullifying well-known sciences. Because of this, humanity saw an outstanding power like you once but will never be able to see in the future. I humbly bow to your esteemed character with the utmost degree.
About the life of the person who without dispute ruled the hearts of millions of people. When I read it, I certainly believed that there was no role for the sword for Islam to make ground in those years. Keeping himself in the background, the Prophet was true to his words, fair, selfless to his followers and companions, courageous and fearless. His trust in his God in the task he took on was certain and plain. There was no need to carry a sword to overcome any burden when you had these qualities. I was sad to see that there was nothing to read more about this incredible life after I finished reading the second volume of the book about his life.
Lies that have been said about this man by the West are shameful for us. How one man on his own could unite warring tribes and wandering Bedouins and make them the most powerful and civilized nation in less than 2 decades. A silent great soul, one of those who cannot but be earnest. He was to kindle the world, because the creator of the world had ordered so.
His readiness to undergo persecutions for his beliefs. The high morale character of his companions who believed in him and looked up to him as the leader. And the greatness of his ultimate achievement. All argue his fundamental integrity. To suppose Muhammad an impostor raises more problems than it solves. Moreover, none of the great figures of history is so poorly appreciated in the West as Muhammad.
His command on hijab for women is a protocol, not to humiliate, but to elevate them.